So over the past decade, there's been one fly that consistently catches me fish in the winter time. From all the times I've been fly fishing in competitions, or the US team, or just out there free fishing, this one fly has caught me so many fish. Now there's many names for this fly, and I can't wait to show you. Alright, let's get into it. Welcome back everybody, Carson here with Happy to Fly Outdoors. If you don't know me and it's your first time to the channel, welcome. I'm Carson I've been fly fishing for over a decade now, including competitive fly fishing. Now today I'm going to be sharing with you the CDC Waltz worm. The CDC Waltz worm is so magnificent, and I just don't understand why it works so well. I think it's just a buggy fly. So besides talking about it, let's actually get to how to tie this fly. Alright, so let's start tying this fly. So the first thing that we have is a straight shank dry fly hook from Fulling Mill, and this is a size 14 dry fly hook, and I'm using a size 14 for filming purposes, and I like to use this for more of a stocked water trout, but if I'm fishing more of a natural stream for wild brown trout, I'm probably going to use it more of a size 16, 18, or maybe even a 20 size hook for this fly. And the next thing that we have on here is a 2.3 millimeter bead, copper bead. And the first thing that we're going to be using to tie this fly is a 70-aught brown thread. And we're going to start off with some initial wraps behind the bead to secure the bead on the hook. Okay, just going to cut that off, the tag, and we're just going to secure that. And I like to make quite a bit of wraps around behind the bead just to start securing it in the early stages when we start tying this fly. So there we go. Alright, next we're going to grab some tinsel or some flash here. And I've been getting a lot of comments on what type of colors you're using. I'm using silver for this, but you can use orange, you can use black nickel, you can use a myriad of things. You just have to experiment in your own trout waters what they like best. For over here on Spring Creek in Pennsylvania, they definitely like the silver, which I've noticed. Alright, and we're going to keep the body a bit thin today. So for the next part of the fly, for the waltz worm part, we have our dubbing, and this is snowshoe rabbit foot dubbing. This is muskrat gray. Really love this stuff, and it's really fine dubbing, which I really like, and I could really get a thin profile from this. So we're going to add this dubbing to the thread, and we're going to move the dubbing a little bit further up, and we're just going to make some wraps around here at the butt section of the fly, and then we're going to start creating the body. And I really like to start off with very little dubbing, just to make sure that I'm not overdoing the fly, or underdoing. I'd rather underdo than overdo, because when you overdo, then it's really hard or difficult to take it off. And there we go. And then once we've created the body of the fly, next thing that we're going to do is take this tinsel, make a few wraps around the body. So what I noticed with this tinsel is that it definitely adds an attractor to the fly, but also too, when you have the CDC behind the bead, it also kind of gives it more of a glare of that something is hatching or a pupa hatching. It's actually quite cool watching it. If you ever put your fly underwater, or you just put it lightly in the water or some still water or in a cup and just lift it up and down, you can see that movement, and you can see what it looks like underwater, and see how the fly reacts to either a current, or if you jig the fly or swing the fly. All those things can be really important, and especially with this fly, it has a lot of movement. So we're going to take our CDC. This is olive CDC from Fulling Mill also, and we're going to take the tip of our CDC, and we're going to secure that with our thread right behind the bead. Okay, make like about 4 wraps to secure it, and then we're going to make some initial wraps, and I don't want it too thick. of a CDC collar. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. I'm going to pinch it, secure it. There we go. Make a few wraps. Make sure that CDC doesn't become undone. Pull this back a bit. Make it a little bit more presentable, I guess, to the human eye, but honestly, the trout really don't care. But, there you go. We're going to make some wet finishes behind the bead. And you can add some super glue or head cement at this point, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And there you go, everybody. Here's your CDC fly. I'm going to clip a little bit of this excess material off. And there we go. Quick, easy fly. And it has a lot of movement. And I can't tell you how effective this fly is. So before ending this video, I always like to give some information upon how to fly fish with this fly and what are some stories that why this fly is so good. And I started using this fly when I started getting onto the competitive side, and I discovered using CDC collars for flies, things like that. And initially I was like, oh, this is really, foolish, and it doesn't really look like it can cut through water really fast or things like that because of the CDC, which is true. But the cool thing about it is that it's a great single nymph in really, really low water conditions, but also too, it's great as a top fly pattern or a tag fly, and it imitates kind of like a nymph in a pupa stage. You could say either if it's a caddis, a BWO, but also too, when I'm out euronymphing, I love to cast out and cast into the current, and midway down toward the end of the drift, I start lifting up my rod tip, and I slowly lift it up, and that just this fly starts slowly elevating in the water column, and those trout seem to just love that. So thank everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you have any questions at all, please leave it down in the comments below, or I'll leave my email down below, and you can of course email me. Well, thank everybody for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Until then, I'll see everybody next time, and as always, stay fishy.